So I recently started knitting this sweater. It's called the rainbow sweater. And in my last update, I was knitting until I had 12 inches of work that has been achieved. It's looking really cute. It looks more dull on camera, but the yarn is actually quite vibrant, even though it's like pastels. It has like a slight sheen to it. It's curling quite a lot, but it is looking really cute. I love the pattern. I really like the texture of it, and I love that it's essentially just stripes, but because you're like slipping this stitch here, you have this like effect that, I don't know, I just think it looks really cool. I think this would be a really good pattern for a beginner because it's like a really great introduction into color work. You get this really interesting texture and really interesting look, but it's really just stripes. So you're only changing color on the edge. But yeah, so now that I have 12 inches of this, it's time to start shaping for the armholes. It says that we have to keep the pattern unbroken, and I'm supposed to cast off 2 stitches at the beginning of the next 2 rows, then knit 2 together at each end of following 8 rows until I have 89 stitches. Now that I finished all of the decreases, I have to keep working until I have 14.5 inches. I just measured it and I have immediately forgotten how much I have. Let's check. I have just shy of 13 inches. It says about 14.5 inches, finishing after a 4th or 8th pattern row, which means that that's where you change the color, and a stripe in the 5th or 6th color afterwards. We're going to start working this section, which is all in 1 rib, and that needs to be in the lavender color. So I need to be finishing my 14.5 inches in my green color. I need to keep working for a few more rows until I get to the green color, and then I'm gonna measure and see how much it measures. It should work out because from what I've measured from where I start the repeat until I get to that color again, it's about 1 3/4 inches. So if I have just shy of 13 and I need 14.5, it should work out because I'm at the first, like the starting color. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on this until I have my 14.5 inches. And then I'm going to switch on over to 1 rib again before I shape for the shoulders. So I will update you when I get to that part.